In December 1872, a British brigantine spotted a ship drifting aimlessly in the Atlantic. When they climbed aboard the Mary Celeste, they found a scene that defied logic. The cargo was untouched, personal belongings were still in place, and a warm meal was reportedly still on the table. But not a single soul was on board. No signs of a struggle, no pirate attack, and no natural disaster. 10 people had simply evaporated. Today, we go inside the logs of history's most famous ghost ship to find out what the investigators missed. Welcome to the USA Suspects. Today, we investigate the shadows of the high seas. The story of the Mary Celeste is rooted in a history of misfortune long before its fateful voyage. Built in Nova Scotia in 1861, the vessel was originally christened the Amazon. Its early career was plagued by catastrophic accidents, groundings, and the sudden illness and death of its first captain. After running aground in Nova Scotia, the wrecked ship was salvaged, refitted in New York, and renamed the Mary Celeste. In October 1872, command was given to Captain Benjamin Briggs. Briggs was a seasoned, highly respected American captain known for his devout Christian faith and strict abstinence from alcohol. Joining him on this transatlantic crossing was his wife, Sarah Briggs, and their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia. Their 7-year-old son, Arthur, was left behind in Massachusetts with his grandmother to attend school. The Mary Celeste was chartered to carry a high-value industrial cargo from New York to Genoa, Italy. Packed inside the hold were 1,701 wooden barrels of raw, industrial denatured alcohol. The crew consisted of 7 experienced, hand-picked European sailors with immaculate reputations. On November 7, 1872, the Mary Celeste weighed anchor from Staten Island and sailed out into the Atlantic. 8 days later, another commercial brigantine, the Dei Gratia, departed New York along a similar eastward route. Its captain, David Morehouse, knew Captain Briggs personally, having dined with him in New York just days before departure. On the afternoon of December 4, 1872, the Dei Gratia was cruising through ocean waters 600 miles off Portugal. The lookout spotted a vessel 5 miles away, yawing erratically and rolling awkwardly in the swells. Captain Morehouse observed the ship for 2 hours, noticing that no one was at the helm and its course was completely uncontrolled. Closing in, Morehouse recognized the vessel with shock. It was Benjamin Briggs' Mary Celeste. When hails went completely unanswered, Morehouse ordered First Mate Oliver DeVoe to lead a boarding party. DeVoe climbed the rope ladder and stepped onto the deck, stepping into an eerie, oppressive silence. The ship was in decent condition, but it was operating entirely like a ghost ship. Some of the sails were clumsily furled, while halyard lines were tangled and trailing over the side. DeVoe checked the bilge pumps and found 3.5 feet of water in the ship's hold. While significant, this amount of water was entirely normal for a wooden vessel left untended for days, and the hull remained seaworthy. DeVoe noticed the ship's sole lifeboat, a small wooden yawl, was completely missing from its deck chocks. The main peak halyard rope was broken and tied off to the stern, trailing into the ocean behind the vessel. DeVoe descended into the captain's quarters, uncovering an orderly domestic scene preserved in time. Little Sophia's toys and children's clothing lay neatly organized in drawers, completely undisturbed. Sarah's jewelry, the crew's personal effects, and pipes were found resting on shelves and desks. In the galley, food stores and fresh water barrels were fully stocked, providing enough supplies for 6 months. But later, sensational stories about steaming hot meals and half-eaten breakfasts were completely false. Those dramatic myths were invented years later by author Arthur Conan Doyle in a fictionalized short story. The real galley was cold, damp, and showed that no cooking had occurred for days. What DeVoe did discover missing were the essential tools required for ocean navigation. The ship's chronometer, sextant, and official registration papers were completely gone from the captain's desk. However, the ship's logbook was left lying open on the mate's drafting table. The final entry in the log was dated November 24th, recorded in the captain's own handwriting. A slateboard entry recorded a final position on the morning of November 25th, near the Azores. That meant the Mary Celeste had drifted over 400 miles across the open Atlantic for 9 days without a crew. DeVoe inspected the cargo hold and verified that all 1,701 denatured alcohol barrels were neatly stacked and intact. Realizing the immense value of the salvage, Captain Morehouse split his crew between the 2 vessels. On December 13, 1872, the Mary Celeste and the Dei Gratia sailed into British-controlled Gibraltar. Captain Morehouse filed a formal salvage claim with the Vice Admiralty Court, expecting a routine payout. Instead, the case was assigned to Frederick Solly Flood, the Queen's proctor in Gibraltar. Solly Flood was deeply suspicious, convinced that a ship could not be found abandoned without foul play or conspiracy. He ordered a comprehensive forensic examination of the Mary Celeste by British naval surveyor John Austin. Austin discovered a decorative sword in the cabin with brownish stains along the blade, declaring it was dried blood. He also claimed to find deep cuts and bloodstains near the deck railings, suggesting a violent massacre. Solly Flood developed a sensational theory. The crew of the Dei Gratia had murdered Briggs and his family for the salvage money. Alternatively, he argued the crew got drunk on the industrial alcohol cargo, slaughtered their captain, and fled in the yawl. But rigorous scientific testing soon obliterated the proctor's dramatic murder theories. Chemical analysis by Dr. J. Patron proved the stains on the sword were simple iron rust and protective lemon oil varnish. The marks on the wooden railing were natural seasoning cracks in the timber, completely free of human blood. Furthermore, denatured alcohol is undrinkable and poisonous. Any sailor who consumed it would have died instantly. After months of grueling hearings, the court awarded Morehouse and his crew a reduced salvage reward. The judge praised the crew's honesty, stating there was zero evidence of violence, mutiny, or fraud. The Mary Celeste was released to new owners, but the fate of its 10 souls remained an unsolved black hole. For over 150 years, researchers, profilers, and maritime historians have debated what forced Briggs to abandon ship. Let us analyze the primary suspect theories inside the USA Suspects Investigation Lab. Theory number 1. Piracy by Riffian, pirates from the coast of North Africa. But pirates would have stripped the vessel of its valuable alcohol, Sarah's gold jewelry, and the cash locked in Briggs' desk. Leaving it intact, floating fortune behind is completely contrary to pirate behavior, ruling out piracy entirely. Theory number 2. A sudden seaquake or subsea volcanic eruption near the Azores. The Azores are seismically active, and intense tremors could have rattled the ship violently without leaving exterior damage. Believing the ship was breaking apart, Captain Briggs might have ordered an immediate evacuation into the yawl. However, historical geological records for November 25, 1872 show no major seismic activity registered in the region. Theory number 3. Ergot poisoning and mass hallucinatory madness. Ergot-contaminated rye flour can induce violent paranoia, hallucinations, and convulsions similar to LSD. Theorists suggested the entire crew went mad, leaped into the ocean, or fought each other to the death. But the ship's log was written in clear, precise, and entirely rational script right up to the final morning. Furthermore, the Dei Gratia crew consumed flour from the Mary Celeste's galley for weeks with zero ill effects. That brings us to theory number 4, the sounding rod and false bilge flood. The sounding rod used to measure water in the bilge was found abandoned on the deck instead of in its proper storage rack. Due to recent heavy weather, water may have sloshed up the sides of the hull, giving a false reading that the vessel was sinking rapidly. But would a master captain like Briggs abandon a seaworthy ship with his family over a minor pump reading? That leads us to the most scientifically plausible explanation: the alcohol vapor flash explosion. In 2006, chemist Dr. Andrea Sella of University College London conducted a revolutionary experiment. 9 of the 1,701 barrels delivered to Genoa were later found to be completely empty and constructed of porous red oak. Over several weeks in the warm Atlantic climate, hundreds of gallons of raw alcohol leaked into the hold, vaporizing into gas. A spark caused by metal hoop friction or a crewman's lantern ignited the volatile alcohol fumes. Dr. Sella proved that a low-pressure alcohol vapor blast produces a massive concussive roar and flame wave, without leaving burn marks. The main hatch blew open with a deafening rumble, releasing toxic, choking white smoke across the deck. Captain Briggs, with his wife and baby aboard, believed the entire 700-barrel cargo was about to explode into a catastrophic fireball. Briggs ordered an immediate temporary evacuation into the small wooden yawl, grabbing the logbook, sextant, and chronometer. The crew tied the yawl to the Mary Celeste's stern using a long peak halyard line, intending to trail safely behind. They planned to wait from a safe distance of 300 feet until the vapors dissipated and the fire danger passed. But while waiting in the yawl, a sudden Atlantic storm squall slammed across the Azores with terrifying force. Wind caught the Mary Celeste's sails, causing the massive brigantine to surge forward at full speed through the waves. Under the immense tension of the heavy pull, the frayed hemp tow line snapped violently with a crack like a gunshot. The Mary Celeste sailed away rapidly into the storm fog, leaving 10 souls stranded in an open, oarless yawl on the wild Atlantic. Overpowered by the heavy seas, the small boat capsized, taking Captain Briggs, Sarah, Sophia, and the 7 sailors down into the deep. This explains every single clue: the missing lifeboat, the broken halyard on the stern, the missing navigation tools, and the untouched ship. It was not a paranormal disappearance, nor a bloody mutiny. It was a tragic, split-second decision made to protect a family. Back in Massachusetts, 7-year-old Arthur Briggs waited for parents and a little sister who would never return home. The Mary Celeste sailed for another 12 years under multiple owners, considered cursed by sailors worldwide. In 1885, its final captain deliberately ran the ship aground on Rochelle Reef off Haiti in a brazen insurance fraud scheme. The wreck decomposed in the Caribbean surf, but the legend of its greatest mystery remained immortal in the annals of history. Today, the Mary Celeste stands as the ultimate symbol of the ocean's unforgiving power and eternal secrets. What is your theory on the legendary Mary Celeste? Do you believe Dr. Seller's alcohol vapor explosion theory solves the case once and for all? Or do you believe another unforeseen danger forced Captain Briggs to abandon his seaworthy vessel? Here at the USA Suspects, we analyze every log, every artifact, and every unsealed maritime dossier. If this deep historical investigation kept you captivated, smash the like button right now to support our work. Share your thoughts, suspect theories, and insights in the comments section below. We read and reply to your insights. We want to hear from the sharpest maritime historians and cold case sleuths in our growing community. Make sure to subscribe to the USA Suspects and turn on all notifications so you never miss an unsealed file release. Send this video to a fellow history buff or true crime fan who loves maritime enigmas and ghost ship legends. Your support enables us to continue unsealing historical archives and bringing forgotten stories back to light. Check out the recommended case file on your screen right now to dive deeper into our investigative archives. Study the logs, question the myths, and never stop searching for the real truth. The deepest shadows are always found across the open ocean, waiting for science to illuminate them. We honor the memory of the 10 brave souls lost aboard the Mary Celeste. This has been the USA Suspects, investigating the shadows. The USA Suspects, investigating the shadows. Case file closed.